So this is the question that I have come across this week. I try hard to control my mind through meditation. I also try to do nama japa. Why does the mind always keeps thinking how to bring it under control? The question is, the question that many of us would have in our mind. We want to meditate, we want to focus on certain tasks, but the mind always continues, it's churning, going into the past, going into the future. The question is, how do you bring it under control practically? So, this is the question the person has asked. He is trying to do many things, but his mind is not listening to him. Let me first ask my students, and then we can ask the sadhakas who are there in the meeting. Yes, please.
So I think with meditation, we can control our mind. First, in the initial phase of the meditation, you will feel so many thoughts coming. It will be disturbing also. But with practice, we will learn to control and let the thoughts go.
That is what he is asking. What practice? What to do?
Pranayama, breathing techniques. With that, you can relax your mind. And after pranayama, we can start with meditation. And Prataka procedure will also help in concentration for us. So after this procedure, if we do now japa, we can focus on what we are doing and we can make our mind calm.
So Ashwati recommended pranayama and trataka, looking at a candle flame and meditating for some time. Because your mind is distracted, you need an intense stimuli to be present in front of your mind. And once it develops that habit, slowly you can then meditate. Okay, let us hear from Sharavati. So, yes.
Sir, the mind's main character is to skip from one thought to another when it is not under control. Here, the person is asking that he wants to do Nama Japa and the mind is wandering. So, like Dr. Ashwati said, pranayama, when we go on a path of Raja Yoga, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, so that comes along the way. Also, one another simpler technique that one can follow is minds to keep a barrier between the mind and me. If I'm chanting and if I'm chanting, I'm doing Nama Japa and the mind is wandering, I should let the mind wander and I should concentrate. I should keep on working on my Nama Japa. Let's say I'm doing Nama Japa and my mind is bringing a thought about another place or another person or another situation. I say, okay, my mind is wandering now, let it wander, but I will do my work. I will practice my practice. I will do my Nama Japa. So, on a long run, this will bring the capacity of the mind to wander will decrease and it will come under control. This is a simpler technique, I feel, sir.
Yeah, so Sharavati says that basically we have to do mindfulness, and whenever mind goes away, we also observe that mind also comes back. Correct? If the mind wanders for some time, the beauty is that mind again comes back and tells you that I was wandering. So when the mind comes back, it is then that we hold on to our task that we have been doing with more intensity. So rather than fighting with the darkness, you hold on to the light. Whenever the mind is back, you thank your mind and then focus on the task that you are doing. Very beautiful answer. Let us hear from Bhashmila.
Sir, initially doing meditation is difficult for everyone. Even for me, it was difficult. But we should first train our body, like doing proper asanas will also help that person. Initially, it's needed. And then pranayama, and then pratyahara. Everything should go on bit by bit. If time being a matter for them, or else doing in a process is the first thing we have to practice. Abhyasa is very much needed. And then comes to learning few techniques like neti neti. Which type of meditation they are practicing is also very important. Which suits for them is also we should come to know. So For example, Neti Neti will first get trained. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, which is initially they have to know. And then only the mind wandering can also be on practice comes settle later on. I feel that.
Yes. So Bhashmila brought in a component that even the body has to be fit, and probably the person has to do some physical activity, and the energy that is accumulated in the head has to little bit reduce. Prana gets too much in the head by thinking, thinking, thinking. The prana has to reduce, so you have to go for a walk with grounding yourself. You have to walk barefoot on the ground, feel the touch of the ground, bring your prana down and do some exercises, then do pranayama, then do trataka, then the mind can slowly come under control. Hmm? Okay, let us hear from Vinay.
One answer. Like initially, the practicing of meditation itself for everyone is very difficult. No one can practice at a time for going to meditation. Like there is a particular sequence. For that sequence, we need continuous practice. As Sage Patanjali have explained in the first chapter of Patanjali Yoga Slokas, Abhyasa is very important for whatever we are going to practice. And even sages have explained that our chitta is like a monkey. No one can control that state of thought process and other things. As we are, whatever we are going to do or whatever we are planning to observe on our breathing, also our thought process used to go from one place to another place or thinking from one thing to another thing. For that, Abhyasa is very important. For that Abhyasa, we need asana, pranayama. Before that asana, pranayama, kriyas, cleansing techniques are very important before going to anything. That cleansing techniques will reduce the prana flow, like as you have explained, I prana in the mukha. Mukha prana will reduce this so that it will bring the thought process slowly by continuous practices. And then we can go slowly, which suits for them. That based on that, we have to decide that should we practice or not, which will help them.
So here, Vinay has brought in that kriyas, cleansing, in kriya, Kapalabhati, Vamana, Virechana, Laghu Shanka Prakshalana, Jalaneti, all those practices come. Trataka also comes as a kriya. And probably the diet also becomes a very, very important aspect here, as you spoke about asana. What you eat can also make you very restless. If the food doesn't carry very sattvic qualities, if the food is very rajasic or tamasic, it will either make you very sleepy or it will make you very restless. So I think these are very, very important issues. The basic question, that the person has asked is, why does the mind do that? That is the question.
Nature of mind itself is
Nature of mind is like that, but in some people it does more, in some people it does less. What is the factor that decides who will have more chanchala mind and who will have more ekagra mind? What is it that decides that?
Sir, can I speak?
Yes, Srinathji, please share your views.
Uh, Basically, the person who has asked the query has not put in efforts to do meditation the way it is required to be done, or he's done some meditation which is probably not a proven meditation technique. And also in the Nama Japa, what he's doing is probably not with intensity, not with devotion, not with reverence. So what he needs to do is he has to get into some intense activity like meditation, especially meditation like Vipassana, which I'm aware of. Get into very intense activity, totally focused, totally devoted to what he's doing is probably then thinking would reduce. Or like JK says, the constant awareness of whatever you're doing. So this would bring in probably it would reduce his thinking, and it would also give him clarity, focus, and calmness,
Yes.
and his mind will be under control.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srinathji. Srinathji brought in two other views, other viewpoints. One is that the distraction that comes from phone, from many things that keep going on. You have to go to office and you can't focus. If you dedicate yourself, go to a retreat or a vipassana center where you are only going for meditation, then definitely the intensity of things that pull you out will reduce. Another thing he says is awareness of the simple day-to-day activity throughout the day will slowly make the mind meditative. These are approaches which are very true, very correct. Let us hear from Lalita ji.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everybody.
Yes.
Sir, when we go in for meditation, the way I have learnt it and which I practice also, one of the first things we say is, let your thoughts flow. Do not resist the thoughts. So, allowing the thoughts to flow, slowly you come to a stage where there is no thought. Because how many thoughts can you go on thinking? The mind has that kind of a strength where the thoughts can just stop and you can go into a silent mode, sir. And second thing is, I feel, after joining your classes, this I am not the body, I am not the mind. That is one of the practices which has helped me immensely. Yes, even when I meditate, there is a lot of distractions, lot of things, which try to divert your focus. But once you get into the practice, and I believe that it should be a specific time and every day, that helps a lot. And the other thing is, sir, to make sure that we are not having any bad thoughts by what I call is forgiveness. Because once you have mainly when thoughts come, it is only painful thoughts, bad thoughts, terrible thoughts. So forgiveness is something which you can start your session with. And then I think there will be much more peace to meditate. I just wanted to share my views, sir.
Yes, yes. Beautiful points, Lalita ji. Lalita ji says that one should not resist the thought. The thought keep flowing. You observe non-judgmentally, keep on observing, and slowly you calm down. But she also says that the reason, what the person has also asked, why does the mind always keeps thinking? Lalita ji has brought in one point, that if somewhere somebody has hurt you and you are not able to forgive, that person's vrittis, those chitta vrittis will keep coming into your mind again and again. So there are such things that in the chitta, whatever that repeats is somewhere uh, drawing energy from our intensity only with which we did that particular action. So whichever action is done with lot of emotional intensity, that creates a snapshot for us, and that snapshot keeps repeating on our chitta more frequently. This is what Patanjali calls as chitta vritti. Different chitta have different patterns of thoughts and images that keep rotating in that chitta. What decides which kind of pattern will rotate in my chitta, how frequently? So there are different kinds of chitta, like that Patanjali says vikshipta chitta. Vikshipta chitta is that kind of a chitta which even for a moment can't remain empty. Always in the chitta something is there. Whereas a chitta which is coming towards the vritti nirodha is a chitta which has cleansed itself. The analogy that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives is like that of a white cloth. If the cloth has many different stains and colors, you can't even make out originally what color the cloth was. So for that, Patanjali says, Yogena chittasya padena vacham. By yoga, the chitta, the cloth has to be cleansed, has to be washed. All the mala that is there in the chitta of raga and dvesha has to be removed. And then the chitta becomes ready for the path of meditation. And that's why my students brought in the aspect of Patanjali's limbs. They spoke about asana, pranayama, but they forgot the most fundamental important one, that is yama and niyama. Fundamentally, whatever thought that keep repeating in the chitta is in a way a reflection of breakage of the yama and inability to follow a particular niyama in the life. So say for example, here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhog Aishwarya Prasaktanam तया उपहत चेतसाम व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि ही समाधौ न विधीयते. No, those kind of people, who are very much attached to the worldly pleasures and their intellects bewildered by such things are unable to possess the resolute determination for success on the path to God or meditation. So, what we require is a vyavasayatmika buddhi, a buddhi which has clearly decided that this is my priority, this is my dedication, and this is what I want to do. And that kind of a buddhi comes only to those who are not too much attached into the worldly affairs. It doesn't mean that you don't do your worldly duties, but if you do the same duty with lot of attachment, then it creates those vrittis in your mind. Now, the ideal state in which a grahastha should function is in the heart, one should feel that I want to leave everything and get into a state of freedom. And once one reaches that kind of a vairagya, then one should not leave the grahastha one should do all the duties. That is how in Bhagavad Gita the reference of Janaka and other comes. He was a king but completely detached. That detachment, vairagya, is very, very important. Otherwise, we keep talking, we keep saying things, become mindful, observe things, do this, do that, but it won't happen. The vrittis will be so powerful, they will keep coming. No matter how long you watch, it will not come down unless you are changing the mode in which you do your actions. If your actions are done with lot of raga, lot of attachment, lot of aversion, it is bound to repeat in your chitta. No matter how mindful you are, you will not be able to be mindful at all. So therefore, we have to understand the way we do our actions properly and reduce our attachment to the world and bring our attachment towards something higher in life, higher purpose in life. That is one aspect that comes in. In fact, in 12th and 5th chapter, this kind of discussions happen where Arjuna tells same thing. I am not able to do abhyasa. You are telling me to do abhyasa. My mind is not fit to do abhyasa also. अथ चित्तम समाधातुम न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम अभ्यास योगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुम धनंजय. If you are unable to fix your mind steadily on me, then practice remembering me by doing nama japa again and again. Remember me. But when you do that, again the chitta vrittis come at the same time. That is what Arjuna also asked Krishna. Then he says, Abhyase api asamartho asi mat karma paramo bhava. If abhyasa also you are not able to do, Arjuna, then do one simple thing. Whatever action that you do, start offering it to me. Do it for me. Don't do it for your office boss. Make me your boss. And consider that I have appointed you in this house in doing this household duty, in this office to do this office duty, in this country to do duty towards this country, and on this planet to do this duty toward this planet. So society, profession, your humanity, your role in the planet, everything you think that I am the only boss and these are the different roles assigned to you. Try to do all your roles, all your kartavyas properly, but for me. Madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. By doing only action like this also you will reach siddhi, what yogis reach. Then you don't need abhyasa also, or your mind will become fit for abhyasa. So I think this particular person, the way I spoke to him, appeared to be very, very rajasic in his mind, always attached to actions. Even when he meditates, he gets wonderful ideas and he gets up, write down, because he thinks that that idea that he got, he will forget later. That is why he is not able to meditate, because he is so much attached to action. He wants to do so many things, so with such intensity he works. Definitely he is a big achiever. He has been able to start a company, become a big entrepreneur, and all those things are there. But then with that karma, what he missed is the art of offering the karma to the divine, to do that karma for a higher purpose in life. And that is why it became a karma filled with sakama karma, a lot of raga, a lot of dvesha. And when that karma is done like that, chitta keeps gathering the impressions. And then as soon as you try to calm down your mind, chitta keeps throwing the actions, because the karma is done with lot of intensity. ब्रह्मण्याध्याय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति यह लिप्यते न स पापेन padma patramivambasa. Such a beautiful shloka. He says, if your actions are dedicated to God or to a higher purpose in life without attachment to the world, then you will remain untouched from the consequences of those actions, and your chitta will not get colored in the same way as a lotus is not touched when the water is poured on the lotus flower. So that lotus flower, we have to become in doing our karmas. Do everything, but don't get attached. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my boss. My boss is responsible. I just do my duty. I don't have anything towards the fruit or results. Results, my salary is processed by my boss. This action and its reaction doesn't decide my salary. My salary comes from somewhere else. I am just doing a role. This, if it fits in our mind, I tell you, lot of anxiety will come out, will go away from our lives. Now, who is our reporting officer? That is the most important thing. So then Krishna says, Athedapi ashakto asi kartum madhyogam ashritaha sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. See how compassionate Krishna is. He says, even if you're not able to do that, do your duties for me. Make me your boss. If even that is difficult for you, your mind doubts, then also you can do one simple thing, sarva karma phalatyagam. Try to renounce the fruit of your action and be situated in the self. I am not the doer. Prakriti is doing. Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. Gunanugunat vartante iti dharyan. Gunas are playing in gunas. I don't do anything. In that sthiti, you establish yourself. That is also a way in which you can purify. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalayirindriyerapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye. By doing your assigned duties. See, karma is done in two ways. One is known as a karma with dharma, where you know properly your duty. I am a father, I am a husband, I am a child, son, daughter, and I am fulfilling these roles. I am a doctor, I am a businessman, these are my roles. I belong to this nation, this is my duty towards the nation, this is my duty towards the planet. If you align yourself with that and do the karma in a dharma way with attachment, then it will give punya phala and punya vrittis, and that will not allow your mind to meditate. But if you do the same dharma without attachment, I will only give what I can. I don't bother what I get back. My only motive is giving. Then it becomes without attachment, because you are not expecting anything in return. You just want to give. Like river gives water, take. Whether what you give back doesn't matter. Sun gives light, just spreads light. No matter, what kind of karma the person does, everybody gets the sunlight equally. In the same way, a person on the path of karma yoga starts, just you have to tell your mind only one thing. Boss, enough of it, transactions, giving, taking. Anyway, we have to do karma, we cannot escape karma. From now on, I will just focus on what I do, what is my duty. I will not bother about others' duty at all. So, in this way, person reaches, he says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyagam, tyaga shantiranantaram. He says, Oh Arjuna, by mechanical practice, knowledge is better. By better than knowledge is meditation. Better even than meditation is karma phala tyaga, because this gives instant peace. Is it possible, dear friends, that we tell our mind that it just focuses on its duties and stops asking other people around us about their duties? Such peace, this thought, immediate thought gives me such peace. Let people do what they want. I will do my karma with dharma and not ask anything in return. I will just spend this life on this principle. Peace will follow you. Meditation will come behind you.
Doctor, I have a question.
Let me just finish, sir. So, yuktah karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishtikam ayuktah kam karena phale sakto nibadhyate. Offering the result of all activities to God, the karma yogis attain everlasting peace. Whereas those who, being impelled by their desires, work with a selfish motive, become entangled because they are attached to the fruits of their action. Kamakarena phale sakto nibadhyate. Whatever that has bound you is like, a spider is woven by you only. You can only absorb it back. So Krishna says, Yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukh yonaya evate adyantavantah kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Why do I not look at the fruit of the action? Because ultimately, whatever expectation I have, whatever bhogas that I want to get out of my karma, ultimately everything is a suffering because nothing remains permanent. Ultimately, we enjoy everything with this body, and this body also leaves us. So, at the end, the more you indulge into body, into senses, into expectation of your actions, end is frustration only. That is what Krishna tells. In that path, ultimate end will be frustration. And those shaknoti have yah sodum prak sharir vimokshanaat kama krodot bhavam vegam sayuktah sa sukhi naraha. Only that human being is able to reach peace and happiness who has learned this art of checking the forces of desire and anger. What we say as freedom, whatever that comes in my heart, I am able to do. If I get a desire of going to America, tomorrow I can go to America. That is freedom. No, that is not freedom. Your heart is making you slave. Your heart from here took you all the way to America just to fulfill a petty small desire. Do you call it freedom? You have become a slave of your mind. You have become a slave of your senses. First, a vega of kama, a vega of desire came. It came into your mind. Your mind hijacked your senses hijacked your body, and it took you all the way to US. And you consider that as freedom. Krishna says, if you had controlled that desire in your heart in the beginning itself, not allowing your mind, senses, body to follow, and then you had directed your mind where you want to go using your will, free will, then probably you would be a person who would have some happiness in life. Otherwise, as soon as you reach US, your mind will tell you to go to France. No, so you will keep wandering the whole earth, and the life will finish if you follow that particular path which you consider as freedom. Real freedom is in becoming jitendriya. Real freedom is becoming the boss of your actions, using your free will to do whatever you want and not work like a automated machine governed by your desire and senses. So therefore, my dear friends, I think this particular person is not able to do that because somewhere in his life yamas are being broken. Whenever you break yama, you break ahimsa, you do violence. You break satya, you tell untruth. You do asteya, you steal or take credit that belongs to others. You do brahmacharya, where you give a free vent to your sexual organs. Or aparigraha, where you possess things which you do not need. Then yama is broken. Yama is broken by actions against the yamas. These actions form very strong impression on the chitta, and that keeps repeating on the mind. Forgiveness and all other principles come up only because just see, which is the thought that repeats in your mind when you meditate. Somewhere one of these yamas have been broken. If it is about too much about gaining something, becoming something, name, fame, aparigraha, you have missed. Now, one question, that comes is, okay, Krishna is telling to control the kama, krodha, that vega, and the actions which go against the yamas because of those vegas have also to be controlled. But modern psychology talks of suppression is a problem. Freudian philosophy says that if you suppress the desire that come in your heart and never manifest it, ultimately it will lead to psychosomatic problems, right? So, what is the way out? How do you decide? In what way do you try to control it? So here we see Shaucha Santosha Tapas Swadhyaye Ishwar Pranidhanani Niyamaha. So if the desires are not directed towards the niyamas, if it is not directed towards the niyamas, then this leads to suppression. But if it is directed towards the niyamas, then that energy leads to sublimation. So if niyamas are not incorporated, then only the suppression is a problem. Otherwise, to control the force of anger, desire, greed, and moving it from the natural direction is to break the yama. Do not allow it to go there. Channelize it towards the niyamas. Do shaucha. Start cleaning your body, cleaning your surrounding. You know, do santosha, observe contentment. Tapa, that you get up in the morning and do yoga, fasting. Swadhyaya, deep contemplation on what is going on in the what kind of vrittis are going on in my mind. And Ishwar Pranidhana, offering everything to God, doing Nama Japa. So if niyamas are not there, and then you try to block the emotions against the yamas, then you are in trouble. That's why Patanjali brings niyama immediately after yamas, because you need the direction for the energies. Otherwise, it will lead to psychosomatic problems. Therefore, my answer to this question, this individual would be become very serious about yama and niyama. Then you will be able to reach a state where you are able to offer your actions to the divine and do it without looking at the fruits of the action. And that will slowly bring your mind into a state, your chitta into such level of shuddhi that you will become naturally meditative. People with shuddha chitta don't have to meditate. They just close their eyes and they fall into meditation. Hmm? So in that state, our chitta should become. For that, the white cloth has to again become white. And for that are the paths of yoga. Yes, thank you for your patient listening. Now we can take the questions anybody has on this.
Dr. Bhargav Srinath here.
Yes.
In my relationships, I give my yama, niyama, devotion, and it's always been giving. But what I get back year over year is deceit, cheat, magics, unfaithfulness. So I am unable to understand what to do.
That is the problem, no, sir. You have to do your duty. You have to have faith.
How many years I have to do?
Lifelong. Sun gives you light. What did you give it back? It just gives. So you have to have faith in the law of karma, that whatever karma that you are doing is not going wasted. And it is not the person who should decide your happiness. Why have you made your happiness, a button? Why have you given the button to another person that he fulfills his duties, that will make you happy, and if he doesn't fulfill, that will make you sad? Your ability to fulfill your duty should be able to make you happy. So,
but in a relationship, it is very difficult.
Relationship is only with God. There is no other relationship. Your only relationship that is going to give you peace is your relationship with the Creator. You are being given this duty. Okay? If one relationship is not responding, God will come in another form and connect to you. Now also God is connecting in this form and talking to you. So in the same way, the same divine place, and your reporting officer, your boss should be only one, and there is no other relationship. All other things are your tyaga, that you are doing it for your boss. To gain the faith and trust and relationship with the God, you are doing your duty. So your solace is, I am anyway not doing it for the person who is cheating me. I am doing it for God. And God will only give me peace. This person cannot give me peace. Even if it was in the hand of this person or he had maintained a very good relationship, ultimately that person would have left you, because either he would have died or you would have died. So ultimately he is going to give you pain only, whether he fulfills duty or doesn't fulfill duty. So please understand, attachment also will ultimately give you pain. only the relationship with God, only one faithful, like wife is faithful to the husband, husband is faithful to the wife. The same way we have to become faithful to the God and then do all our duties only for God. Then what we get is really, really fulfilling in life, because what we get, even death cannot take it back.
Yeah, good morning, sir. So, sir, I just wanted to ask, when one does meditation, is it necessary that you have to find a quiet place? I mean, not everybody has the liberty of going to a quiet place. I mean, there will always be noise around the people. You live with your family, you live with, So, why? I mean, I have heard this and I want to ask this in general to everybody here. Why do people always say you have to meditate, go into quiet surrounding? Everyone can run to a forest or a cave, right? We live in a city, there are people around us, we work. So, I just wanted to know this opinion from you and the rest. Why do people say that you go to a shanta place and then only meditation will come? It should actually come if one is able to overcome these weaknesses, or what we call these failings or challenges, then one should be able to meditate even in a noisy place. I don't know, my query, sir. Please
Yes, yes,
answer.
Surya, you are very correct. Meditation is an inherent feeling, The outer atmosphere is secondary. To a sadhaka who is just a beginner in meditator, the outer noises can be distracting and silence.
ये नहीं पहुंचा है इतने दिनों से
So
Sir,
the
sorry, I can't hear, somebody is talking. Please,
yeah.
could you repeat your last sentence?
So I was saying that, as Pritiji also has put, silence from within. If the inner silence is growing, outer noise doesn't matter. No, if the inner silence is very feeble, then you are very worried about the outer noises. So it is in proportion. So to a very sadhaka who is a very beginner of meditation, for that kind of a person only the complete silence is required. But a person who has gone little bit ahead on the path of meditation, he can non-judgmentally remain aware of the sounds, and he can actually hear the silence within the depth of all the noises.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Anybody else wants to say something? Kambam
Sir,
Raghunath.
of course,
Yes.
good morning, sir.
Yes.
Raghunath here.
Yes, Raghunath.
Good morning, sir. Sir, of course, after all your talk, mine is a very simple, I mean, a very small thing. But anyway, I want to place before you my experience, even though we have got this, my brain is always working on thinking, planning, problem solving, and all that during the day. And so that goes through the day, but I'll have to overcome that particular thing. What I just do is that some Nama Japa, I just go keep my beats in my hand and keep on counting my beats. So that when I count my beats, I'm away from the other thinking, because I'm more focused and concentrated towards the number what I do. If I've decided to make 10 rounds. So that way I'm trying to overcome this particular problem. And that is my personal experience, sir.
Kambam Raghunathji, this is a very beautiful point. See, when you are counting the bead, you are just in the present moment. You are not looking at any future result or anything. You are just doing the action in the present moment. So that is what is karma phala tyaga. You do certain action where you are not bothered about whether it is going to give you something or not. Just be in the present and do it as your duty, not expecting anything else from anybody around. That Bhagavad Gita says, Tyaga Chantiranantaram. This will lead to instant lasting peace. Yes.
Sir, one doubt, sir. So you are telling Krishna we have to report for a reporting officer like that. See, there is a physically, I can see some boss is there, if any boss is there. But mentally, to imagine Krishna, it's very difficult, sir. Always,
That
I
is what
find it difficulty, sir.
I know, I know. That is what Krishna told Arjuna also. If it is very difficult for you, then you simply do one thing, karma phala tyaga. You don't have to do madartha karmanam. Don't do karma for me. But
That is
do
also I'm
karma
finding
phala.
difficulty, sir. That is also I'm finding difficulty. How to whatever I do, how to surrender to Krishna. I don't know how to do that.
No,
That
no, you
also
don't
I'm
have to
finding.
surrender to Krishna. You have to Karma phala tyaga means you have to tell yourself only one thing. Others do their duty or not is not in my hand. What is in my hand? To do my duties properly. What I will do is I will do my duties properly without expecting any other person around me to do his duty. And why will I do that? I believe in Karma Siddhanta. I believe in Karma Siddhanta that if, and it is written in Bhagavad Gita also, that if I do Karma Phala Tyaga and do my duty, I will get peace of mind. Here there is no, if you don't want to bring God in between, Krishna himself gives this option. So this
The unattached doing work is how it is, how you have to do, sir. Not unattached. Without attaching to duty also. That is also attachment.
This particular
When you do, yeah, when you are doing your duty, without attaching to that duty, how can we do that, sir? That is also I got doubt.
See, Gandhi sir, is
Yes,
there
sir.
any moment where we are not doing action? We are doing action all the moment. We are breathing, heart is beating, mind is thinking. Actions, there is no escape, right?
Yes, sir.
So as soon as we wake up, even in sleep, the bodily actions, digestion, everything goes on. Now, the thing is, this action can be done in different modes.
Yes, sir.
One mode of doing this action is I want something, and for that, I do the action. This is the kind of action which animals do. For their all their actions are for their survival, for their food, for their sex. So, so the action that is done by an animal is ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. Four modes are there. Either for food, that is in our way, it is earning, gaining money, and ultimately fulfilling sensual desires. Then nidra, sleep is another thing, is becoming lazy and this kind of action. Third is bhaya, because of the fear that I should not get the disease, that I should not. No, people do yoga also for bhaya, that if I don't do yoga, I will have heart attack. Those.
Yeah, true, sir.
And maithuna, sex. These four intentions are there in behind the action for animals also.
Yes, sir.
What makes us human? What makes us human is to perform an action which doesn't belong to these four modes. What is that action? That action is, even when I am hungry, I have the freedom to tell that today I am fasting. No animal will be able to do that. If the animal is hungry and the food is there, animal will eat it. But only a human being. We have Bhagat Singh. 60 days that fellow didn't eat food for nation. He was dedicated to his duty towards the nation. He wanted freedom. He was touched by the suffering of the people of this country. He could control that impulse of eating food. It is humanly, literally, the Britishers were shocked. 60 days this person has not even eaten a grain of rice and he is functioning. That is what makes us human. This is humanity. If we don't use that quality in us, we are not human. And human software, this brain, this willpower, this intellect, everything has been given to explore this possibility. This prefrontal cortex, neocortex is new addition. No, this gives you that inhibitory impulses. There was a research done, that says that whenever you do a action where you have a desire, the desire comes first and the brain impulse to do the action comes later. But whenever you inhibit your desire, that doesn't have a brain impulse. That comes from your Atma Tattva beyond the brain. So please understand that doing your action in this particular mode, where why am I doing it? For a higher purpose in life, which is beyond these four: food, sleep, fear, and sex. Apart from these four mode, bring higher purpose into your life. And then do the action. And anyway, action has to be done. Either if you don't do it, it will happen in an animalistic way. So it is better you take charge of your action and start performing action in the most refined way that the action can be done. It is a tool. How do you refine it? You refine it by putting the best possible purpose behind your action. What is the intention? You purify the intention, the action becomes an amazing tool for your evolution. Your intention remains very crude like an animal, your action becomes a downgrading force, binding you more and more to the animalistic life and bringing more and more vritti into your chitta, not making it possible for you to meditate. Okay, so this is what we mean by karma phala tyaga. What is the intention behind my action? Do
Sir,
you have?
good morning, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Sir Prachi here, and just I want to ask you something. Say, when I consider the chitta vrittis, so along with the bad memories, um, some good memories also mingle in my mind. Say, I mean, so it is a continuous a process which I tried to convey you earlier.
Both color,
But
no, Prachi. Even if white cloth is there, you put a bright color or a dark color. The stain is there, right, on the white cloth. So in the same way, in yoga, the karmas, if they are done with the sense of doership, raga will come and bring bright color, dvesha will come and bring dark color. Karma should not be, either coloring toward the positive side or negative side. It should go towards higher purpose, transcend both good and bad. We have to transcend good as well as bad and go towards the transcendental higher purpose of life. That intention has to come behind the karma. Then it will not become a part of your chitta vritti. It will become a force to clean your chitta vrittis.
yeah, sir. So what happens, sir? So it is a energy leak actually.
Hmm.
So after some time, like I remind myself, no, no, this is I'm going in wrong direction. Again, coming back. But what happens in this in between? This time goes.
Hmm.
The time passes. The time goes away. So that is where I need your help. How to be in our correct whatever I want to do, I like in that correct path, because I drain away on I think it is unknowingly. I am not aware when I get dragged towards no opposite direction.
This happens with me also, Prachi, and I have struggled a lot with this for years together. And now, after trying all my sadhanas, all my techniques, I have realized that once you accept that you are weak and you are not able to do it, and then pray wholeheartedly to the divine, it is the divine grace only that is able to sail you through these kind of states of lack of awareness. Only divine, the creator has the power of giving you that sustained state of meditation and remembrance. uh, I don't know, in my own experience I have not been able to find out a technique to do that, but prayer has helped me a lot.
Mhm. Yes, sir, I will try. Another thing, sir, suppose I agree ki, I should not expect or something that
No, you
suppose, for
just begin
example,
your day by wholeheartedly praying to God that God, please today give me awareness throughout the day. You just pray and see how that day would go.
yes, sir, yes, sure, sure, I will follow this. So another thing, sir, I agree that I should not expect, suppose, for example, in my case, suppose kids are doing whatever they want, and I'm just telling my way do this, but they are not doing. But what is happening at the end of the day? Suppose I'm example, I'm telling to clean the desk. They are not suppose cleaning it. Sometimes I get time, I will clean. But if it is not happening at all, then some ants, some cockroaches, some
Yes.
this kind of things are getting there. Then it is a becoming a hygiene problem for whole the family.
Hmm.
So just wanted to understand, like at what extent, or is there any threshold, to tell at least children who are not aware about this, how to go about this?
No, so here very important is, as a mother, it is your duty. It is your duty to, you can even punish your children. So please understand that when we say that the duty aspect that you have to do, it is to protect the family is your duty. No, so you have to understand your duty in its proper perspective, and you should be able to fulfill your duty without attachment. Hmm? Without attachment means that it doesn't matter for you whether, in fulfilling your duty you are able to please some people or not please some people. You are only doing it for a higher purpose in your life. You are doing it not to protect your family also. You are doing it because God has given you this duty to protect your family for God. So, as a mother, if you have your children and your children are, you have given them certain task and they are not able to do it, you are very much in your duty. In fact, it is your duty to ask them why they did not do it, because mother is the first guru. So, even you can slap your children, but you should not be attached with it. You are slapping your children not for the mistake of the children. You are slapping your children to fulfill your duty to the God of becoming a mother who is not allowing children to go on this particular path, because it is your duty towards God. So that intention change is very important. If you are slapping becoming a mother and trying to teach children because children, then it will become a vritti in your mind. But if you slapped becoming fully aware that you are doing your duty towards God, it will not become a vritti.
Yes, yes, I'm getting you, sir. Thank you so
In
much
that
for.
way only, no, Krishna is asking Arjuna to kill so many people, and he says that हत्वा अपि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते यस्या न अहं कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वा अपि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते. The one who doesn't have a sense of doership that I am doing it, and his mind doesn't get attached to the action, that person doing his duty for me, even if he kills the whole lokas, he is not killed anybody. He has na hanti na, and he is not bound by consequences of those actions. So these kind of slokas can be very easily, people can misinterpret it and use it in a wrong way. But your heart knows whether you are doing it correctly or misusing it. So therefore, be true to your devotion and do your duties. In that duty, even if sometimes you have to become violent, if you are devoted to your boss and doing duty properly, it will not bind you.
Yes, sir. And suppose, sir, if desire comes, say for example, tomorrow I want to go to Pune. Now, as you also, then how to identify that this is my desire and or this is my free will? I mean, how to differentiate between those? That I couldn't understand.
Free will always comes with a pause. Desire always creates a pressure. It always wants to push you. And if you try to stop it, it creates more and more pressure, more and more pressure, more and more pressure until you give it on it. If that is a thing, it is the lower animalistic nature which is pulling you. Whereas free will, if you say no, you are free. You can deny it. In free will, that inherent pressure that builds up when you deny doesn't come. If it is a building pressure, it means that it is the lower instinct which is trying to push you against the gravity. Or with the gravity, it is pulling you down. Another way to check it, you just pray wholeheartedly, whether the God, divine wants you to do that. Then you will get insight from within you. Or if you believe in your own Atma Tattva, sit for some time silent. Ask deeply, who am I? Is this action actually coming from my core, or it is coming from my superficial instinct? You will be able to clearly see that. So you have to first become peaceful and then try to see the desire that comes, and the free will that you use, you can differentiate. Preeti ji, yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to just add to whatever you said, sir. Sometimes when we analyze the consequences of what we desire, I think pressing that pause button becomes important to really, analyze the consequences and then take the action. So then we are not, just acting impulsively on a desire.
Yes.
I feel, that is also one part of it.
Very beautiful point. Very beautiful point. Patanjali brings in this concept in when he talks about Vitarkabada. He says that dukkham adnyanam ananta phala. The desires ultimately lead to frustration and more ignorance. If that is the result that is going to come, then it is actually a desire. So you take a pause. You take a pause and see. Wonderful. And focus on, if I do it, what will be the consequences? Yes. So thank you very much, all of you. I think we had a wonderful discussion. I wholeheartedly thank all of you for your wonderful participation. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much, sir. Namaste.
Doctor,